Good morning. We are live and it's good morning here. We have no snow, no rain. Everything looks great. Tippy's happy. Looking for a treat, of course. And it looks like you all are starting your day off in a positive way as well. I'm so glad to see that. Kathy thought she was late, but ended up she was on time. Actually, the first person here. So, congratulations, Kathy, and it's good to see you. Donna, you are going to have a wonderful day today, too. And I'm so glad you're here to start it out. Deanna, good morning. And Linda, my friend, good morning. I appreciate you being here. The threaded lady Joyce is here from Mesa, Arizona, and I welcome you. Linda Lombardo is my good Michigan buddy, Michigander buddy, and Michigan got some great news yesterday. Downstate Michigan, they are not going to close an air base down there, and we're very happy about that. Cactus Deb is here from Glendale, Arizona. And good morning, my friend. For those of you who don't know, our daughter lives in Glendale also. So Debbie's going to always hold a special place in our heart because she lives close to our daughter. Marina's here from Kansas. Ronnie, hi. You have been busy lately. You haven't been around, so it's so good to see you. Carla said it's rained all night and still at it in Oklahoma City. Well, then today is a perfect day, Carla, for you to stay home and quilt. I'm always happy to see raindrops because that means I can stay home and quilt. Di, good morning from Southern California. I hope you're doing well this morning. And we've got Elizabeth from Birch Run, Michigan. Welcome, another Michigander. And good morning, Linda from Bizbrain. Oh, she tells me I was correct last night when I said it would be 11 p.m. The lady who said it was 9 p.m. must have been in Western Australia. I never even thought of that, Linda. You have different time zones in Australia just like we do. I don't know why I didn't come up with that. Susie, good morning from Arlington. And Julia, sunny in the United Kingdom today. Good afternoon to you. And Nan, hi from Sweden. Oh, it's so good to see you, my friend. And it's coffee time there. Nan did a wonderful show last week, and the booth was absolutely beautiful. Hello, Rita. You're from Northern Victoria, also 11 p.m. there. Thank you. I like it when you guys tell me. And I know I'm not going to remember, but I'm going to work at it really hard. Okay. Christina's here from a sunny 69 degrees Fahrenheit, North Carolina. I am anxiously waiting, Christina, for us to hit 70 degrees. It's always a good thing when we do. And Nan said it's 3 p.m. where she is, so it's afternoon over in Sweden. So it's just so good to have you all here. I hope you've got your cup of coffee. We're going to have some fun this morning. We're going to be looking at a Spin-E-Fex number 14. All the Spin-E-Fex are the same. Oh, I'm going to pull this out here, guys. There we go. And we're going to move that just a little bit. Spin-E-Fex come with 5 templates. All of them do. And they come 3.5, 5.5, 7.5, 9.5, and 11.5. And what you're going to see is you're going to see a picture of all of them on your package when you get them. Now, each package is going to have some ideas for you on the sheet that comes with it. And then on the inside, what you're going to see is you're going to see how these all look with the particular number of rotations in. Now, what I notice is Spinifex 14 it says it has 7 sizes, but only has 5 listed there. I would have to go look at my mini Spinifex to see if the number 14 is on there. I found out something last week that I did not know, and that was not all Spinifex have a mini Spinifex. And I believe it was someone in here who told me that. And so when I was talking to Stacy last week, I mentioned that, and she said, "Yeah, you're right. Not all of them do." So it was an eye opener for me. Stitch and rotate technique. We haven't really talked about this. This is a rotating design with a pin located on it. We can use this with a pin or we can use it just as it is. And I'm going to pull one out here and talk about that. Whoops, not that one. Oh my goodness. It looks like most of my, they all came off. Oh, well, that's okay. We'll put them back on. They're in here. That's the important part. They didn't get lost. Okay, so here we see the pin. So what that pin's going to do is it's going to make a 2-inch circle in the center. And I know most of you have seen me do this before. I have done the spin effects on the pin, but when I do that, what I do is I go in with my simple circle and I draw the 2-inch circle out first. It helps me immensely when I'm traveling from one reference line to another. Okay, I'm just going to set those down. What you're going to see that I've got here this morning is, and I'm going to try and get this readjusted, guys. There we go. What we've got here, I think it's 32 reference lines. I really put a lot in because I want to do a lot this morning. So let's first take a look. I'm going to get all of these gates out. Okay, one hit the floor. I got to be careful. Make sure that the dogs don't get it, right? And the next thing I'm going to do is grab some of my RK tape because I like to use that to hold them in. All right, there we go. Oh, who else is here? Oh, Kathy, good morning from Texas, El Paso, I believe, right? Trying to get to know all these things. But you know, the older we get, the less the memory wants to cooperate, huh? It irritates me, but I'm sure it irritates the people around me even more. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we are going to take the 5.5 inch. And I am so grateful that the number of the Spinifex and the size are written in, they're etched in on every one of our templates. So that is just one of those things that's really, really helpful. All right, there we go. I like to put my tape on as close to the bottom of the template as I can get it without interfering with the design. So when I say as close to the bottom, I mean as close to the bottom of the design, which means it's going to run right here. And the reason I like doing that is because there's obviously going to always be some play in here, and you can see that. But if I have that tape close, when I'm holding it, it's going to really minimize the amount of movement that I will get. All right, so here we go. I'm going to do a partial one, and I had a lot of problems getting this machine to do a good stitch for me last night. We made it through the quilt along with Kathy, but it was not giving me good vibes here. And so let's hope this morning we're going to have better luck. All right, just a clear rotation. where we have to be careful and what we have to do. Okay. Um, oh gosh, you guys are awesome. I love how you encourage each other. Lois, good morning from Delaware. How are you doing this morning? It sounds like everybody's having a good morning, and that's an awesome thing. Okay. All right. So the places we have to watch is going to be here and here. We want to make sure that we want to make sure we make our hesitation stitch up here. So let's go ahead and get going. And this is the area you want to be careful you don't fall off that cliff. Keep that stitch length just a little shorter, and the whole rotation is going to look a little smoother. Now I'm going to get up to the top. I'm going to stop with my foot, with my needle down in my fabric. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this thread off of here. I know you all know how much I hate threads. And that was a learned behavior from my mother, who hopefully is watching us this morning from where she is. I didn't get it. I feel very fortunate to have had wonderful parents who encouraged our artistic endeavors and our skills at hobbies because they felt as though you needed that to balance your work life. So here we go there. Just had to get some more caffeine. And we're going to come down. Ah, there's a problem. I didn't have my feed dogs down, guys. Okay. So here is a rotation. And it's just that one rotation. And I think it looks beautiful. Let's go ahead and let's put a larger size over it. Okay. So that is a 5.5. I'm going to go ahead and use the 7.5. And I'm going to stitch that over here. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I want you to see that even though the size changes, the shape does not, which is really awesome. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that in. And remember, when we say 7.5 inch, we don't mean from here to here. From here to here is actually going to be 3 3/4 inches or half of 7.5. So when we get stitched out on this side and we turn our template around and stitch it on the opposite side, from tip to tip, it will be 7.5 inches. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put a 7.5 inch on top of a 5.5 inch. It starts out exactly the same, doesn't it? And then this is where we're going to go ahead and we're going to separate from our 5.5 inch size. Don't forget that hesitation stitch. For you, I'm going to turn it around here. Now, normally I would not do that, okay? So I just want to make sure that I do that so you got a really good picture here. I'm kind of liking these two done together. That's kind of cool, actually. And here we come right back to center. Okay. That's actually very pretty design. I think we could use that for a project. Okay, there we go. And there we go. Isn't that pretty? that really is just a very soft, very pretty. This would be good in a modern quilt. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave this on because I want to go around and show you some of the secondary designs that we get out of this. I'm not going to use all 32. I think I'll just start off with 16. Okay. I'm really not sure why I drew the 32, other than the fact that I thought, well, maybe I would do that many. I'm not sure. Um, it was late at night when I did all of these. So I kind of went bonkers drawing circles or drawing straight lines. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, we're going to come up. Don't forget that hesitation stitch right there. The reason for the hesitation stitch, and I know you guys have heard me say it before, is that we want that point to be nice and sharp. Okay, here we go. Almost got the second rotation in and coming back to center. I will tell you one thing, I do like the needle up, needle down function on this machine. One of the things that I'm not crazy about with this machine, though, is when I'm filming or taping, it's really hard for you all to see. I've got a little flagging going on now. I know my foot didn't change positions on this machine. This is a very pretty template that comes up with some very interesting secondary designs. Why is that? There we go. I guess I didn't have that on tight enough. There we go. Okay. And this will be our last one. And we're going to take that hesitation stitch and come in nice and slow around that drop off there. And there we go. So if we can just imagine that the 5.5 is not there, what you're going to see are these shapes coming together here. And these are absolutely awesome shapes. They really are pretty. The opportunity for template is really, really high here, which is a good thing. That's what you want. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at what we've got. And okay, Lois has to leave early to go get a stress test. So let's all make sure that we say prayers and send good wishes for a positive, no, for a negative result. We don't want any positive. We want a negative result, which means everything is good. Okay. Julia, I'm so glad you said that. And what she said is, "Have you put your feed dogs down?" You know what? I don't think I did. This machine I don't use often, so I think I forgot to do that, but I appreciate that. I really do. Okay. Oh my goodness, you guys are awesome. Lois, you have so many people standing behind you. Don't forget to come in and let us know what the results are, okay? And Mary is here from Minnesota. Good morning, Mary. Nice to have you with us. Okay, there's a lot of things that we can do with our Spin-E-Fex templates. And one thing that I really wanna show you is how we can do a little bit of embellishment, okay? But first, let's put this guy back on. I just looked at the time and we have time to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him back on and I'm going to do 8 points around here. So you have a real clear idea of how these cross over and come up with secondary designs. You know, I'm all about the secondary designs. I really love them. Okay, I want to paste the link here. And is it going to go all the way through this morning? If it is, it's going to be no. Okay. So what it's not doing is it's not going through on the Facebook pages. I don't understand why. It's just been the bane of my existence. Oh, seriously. Okay, so here we go. Oh, you know what? Let's do it this way, guys. Just had a thought. And I had this planned for a little later, but let's do it now. And what that is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a tag in here and we're going to do it. Check your tags. You always want to check your tags. I've come up with some tags that weren't straight. And I'm not sure why they weren't straight. Probably I sat on them or something. Who knows? With me, it could be any number of things. Okay, going to put it in from the front. And then I'm going to come in and slip it back in from the back. And there's the hole right there. Okay. There we go. There we go. Now I'm going to grab my 2-inch simple circle. I think I'm going to grab it. Where did my pouch go? There it is. I knew I had it out last night. This is what happens when you put things away you can't find them. Okay. Julia, yes, I'm gonna show you on a pin right now. You are really just one step ahead of me this morning, aren't you? Kathy, the blue tape. Okay, the blue tape is actually vinyl, and um, it's one of those vinyls that you use on crickets, the cutters. And although I like that I can see through it, it doesn't last as long as the pink tape, okay? And the other thing about the blue is that it's a sheet, so you have to cut it down into strips and then cut your strips down into pieces. Um, I've been using both for quite a while. And, although I really do like the blue because you can see through it, it just doesn't last as long. So, yeah, it just does. Ah, oh, Lois, that is awesome. Getting off the blood thinners is so important. She's going to have a Watchman inserted in 2 weeks so she could get off blood thinners, and she's not expecting any problems. That is good to know, and we will keep you in our thoughts and prayers to make sure that that happens, because we know who the greatest physician is. Lee, good morning from Indiana. Good morning. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and Julia has been reading my mind all morning. I'm sorry, but I think it's kind of funny that you have been. Oh, goodness. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go on the pin. So I'm putting this 2-inch circle, simple circle in. And the reason that I do that is because I find it easier to move from one rotation to another when I have this already pre-stitched in. And if you look, it doesn't take any work. It's just a circle. We've all done it how many times? And then I'll come around to where I'm going to put the next rotation in it. Where we're going to start is going to be right here. I'll go ahead and take my circle off. There we go. I also want to go ahead and cut these threads. Let's not the pin, just the threads. And we'll set that aside now because we're finished with that. I think I just bumped you guys. Stay. Talking to it like it's my dog. Stay. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to put the template on the pin. We're just going to go like this. There we go. And I'm going to slip it in there. You see what I mean about not holding, Kathy? It just doesn't have the same grip. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be part of an 8.8 reference lines, okay? And stitches small. There we go. Making sure that you can see okay. Hi, Susie. Oh, for the center circle, Susie, it's always going to be 2 inches. It's going to be 2 inches for all of our Spin-E-Fex. They're all the same. I hope that's what you were looking for. Okay. Hi, Colleen. Good morning. Nice to see you. Okay, I need a drink of caffeine here to keep going, guys. There we go. And go around and come in and down. And we're going to end up right on that 2-inch simple circle. Oops. Now, there's 2 ways of doing this. My way is to just take the template off the pin and travel. If you want to leave the template on the pin, you're going to be needing to move your template along with the stitches. Okay, we're going to come down here. And we're going to make this what would be an 8-point crosshair. Oops. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to move my template up and put this back on the pin. Oh my goodness, this never was this hard to do before. There we go. I have something messed up here. Find the pin first. There we go. Now put the template down. And we've got it. I moved over, making sure everything is nice and flat, making sure that that pin goes back inside. And I think that my favorite with this particular template is an 8-inch, I'm sorry, 8 inches, 8-point rotation. It comes up with some really cool design opportunities. I can't wait to show it to you. Okay, gonna stop and rearrange my hands. And we're gonna come back to that circle. Okay, I've shown you how to take this off. If you want to move the template without taking it off the pin, then what you're going to do is you're going to make that circle, but you're not going to move the template. You're going to let the machine move the template. There we go. Perfect. We're getting close, guys. Up to the center. Gonna go ahead and turn it. We're gonna do a couple more rotations because I really want you to see this one. It's so fun. Reminders. Don't push your foot against the template and don't push your template against the foot. Make sure that when you are doing your rotations, what you don't want to do is have a death grip on that template. You just want to hold it in place, okay? And what I mean by that is you don't want to push down real hard on it because when you do that, what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to move anything. I'm not moving my template. I am strictly moving my hands with the fabric, okay? So my hands are guiding the fabric under the needle, and I've got a really just a light touch on the template to make sure it stays where it needs to be. I did polish my glider this morning. That's really, really important. Polish the glider, clean the lint out of your machine, and change your needle. Those are three of the most major things that we can find that is wrong. When we had the shop and people would bring their machines and say, it just doesn't work anymore. And my husband would open it up and it would be packed full of lint. And once that lint was cleaned out, there was absolutely nothing wrong with the machine. So what I did was I actually found a little tiny mini vacuum cleaner made for cleaning electronics. And I'll tell you, that thing works like a charm. And so it makes it a lot easier for me to get all the lint out of my machine. Do not use compressed air. That will do nothing more than blow that lint into your machine, and it will make things very difficult to clean up. It's tempting, very tempting to use compressed air. Okay, and here's our last rotation on the pin. And I'll get my little scissors here, cut some threads off. What I like about using the pin is that if you have like a log cabin block, something that has a heavy center or like a pinwheel block or something like that, you can avoid it. You can always put the pin through a heavy center, but putting the needle up and down and adding 8 or 16 more layers of fabric in or the thread in here can really cause problems. Now, this is what makes this template so special to me and why I like it so much. It comes in with these little things right here, and if you are as old as me, you know those little flowers were very prevalent in the 60s, and it just brings me back to when I was younger, that's all. Okay. Now, Colleen asks, "Oh, hi, Judy's here from Greenleaf. Oh, Joey, good morning." Yeah, I do come in to Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday morning each week. Oh, Lee said she missed last night, and we missed you, Lee, too, definitely. But her granddaughter had a track meet and she had to go. I think that's more important. I really do. You can always watch the um you can always watch the recording. Susie McCabe asks, how do you decide what size circle? I don't know if I already answered this or not, Susie, but I will answer it again just to make sure that you get the answer to your question. They are all 2-inch centers. You're always going to end up, it doesn't matter what Spin-E-Fex you use, you will end up with a 2-inch circle here. So I just like to take my 2-inch simple circle, stitch it in, and then it gives me something to follow. For me, it just has worked well. Okay, I hope that helps. All right. Let's go down the comments here because I don't have Ken. He's still sleeping. Colleen has, do you have to push really hard on the template? She has a hard time doing the patterns. Colleen, just the opposite. Okay. You do not want to push real hard on the template. If you're pushing hard on the template, what happens is it's hard to move your fabric and then you'll jerk the fabric like this, okay? I'm speaking from experience here, okay? I mean, I did all these things when I first started out. And when you jerk like this, you end up with big stitches, and you don't want that. So the key, I think, to making this very easy, um, first off, you want your shoulders down. It's really hard to have an erectomy. An erectomy is simply surgically removing the shoulders from your ears, okay? And then I know that's a joke, but it's very serious because what you don't want is you don't want those shoulders all scrunched up. You want your shoulders relaxed, okay? I'm going to come in here and I'm going to, I don't normally do this, guys. So there I am. Like I said, normally I don't do this, but this is what happens. We end up with our shoulders up around our ears, and that puts a lot of stress and strain here. Plus, we're hunched over like this, so that puts more stress and strain down here. You don't want that. What you want is your shoulders down. You want to put your hands out at a really nice angle like this. And you want to keep your shoulders and your elbows loose. All right. Yeah, this could make a nice dance. And then when you're moving your hands through your machine, they're relaxed. They're not limp, they're just relaxed. And that's when I say you have to be careful not to move the foot against the template or the template against the foot because if you move either of those, if you're pushing that template against that foot, what's going to happen is that eventually it's going to slide and your design is gone forever. And you're spending the whole evening picking threads out. Okay? And this is from experience. Honestly, I tell you this from experience. And it's the same if you push the foot to the template. It will eventually come loose and you will eventually have to do a lot of picking out. Okay, question, good question. And I have the perfect answer. This is what I use to polish my tables. This works so great, and I love the smell. I'm real sensitive to smells, so for me to actually like a smell, it's really a good thing, and it works well. It really does work well. And Donna said, "It's easier said than done. She still pushes too much." That will come with practice, Donna, okay? Definitely. Let's see what other questions we have. I'm really uncomfortable with my face being on here because, well, it's my face. Ugh. Uh, Debbie said, you mentioned what bobbin thread you use. What was the name and weight? And I'm glad you found me live too, Debbie. That's really awesome. It's nice to have you here. I use Deco Bob, and it's 80 weight. And it is made and sold by the Wonderfill Company. However, you should be able to get it at a local quilt shop. If you can't, you should ask them to see if they will get it for you. If not, you can go to Wonderfill Threads. I think it's Shop Wonderfill. That's what the name of it is. So you could go to Shop Wonderfill on the internet and they will be happy to fill your orders for you. Okay. Donna, follow power. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, there, Priscilla said, "What templates did you use Monday night? I can't seem to find Monday night's video." Oh, that's a good question. Let me look. Let me look. Oh, I Monday night was the Starry Night Edge to Edge, and I used a full moon. I'm going to go ahead and type that in here for you. Full moon, star, 6, and eclipse. Those are the ones we use. Now, don't forget, that 20% discount by putting in the code Deal Day 20 will work all week. Okay, that works from Monday to Monday. Hi, Pam is here from me. Oh, Donna. Donna likes my shorter haircut. Oh gosh, you know what? I'm still getting used to it. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to what we're here to do, guys. I hope that we've been able to answer questions. That's always a good thing. And this is the reason I love this platform is that we can interact with each other. Okay, I think we got all the questions. Yes, flower power. Donna said it best. And this is what we wore on everything back then. Our jeans, we had flowers embroidered on them if we were lucky. And this this is absolutely wonderful, I think. I love this. I love the template options. If I were doing this in template, I would cut this out right here and probably the circle. Now, what I would do, truthfully, is I would take a piece of fabric that's about this big. I would put it down. Then I would take my template fabric. So, and then I would put my top fabric on top. So now what I've got is I've got 2 layers of template for this inside circle. So I'm going to cut that out, and it's going to be a different template than the petals. Now, if we want something to be a little bigger, okay? And that was the 7.5. It was the 7.5. So now I'm going to come in with a 9.5. Okay. I'm going to line this up. And I'm lining it up right here. I didn't try this before I got ready for today, but I knew I wanted to do some embellishment. And this is just one. Now, what this does is this gives us a quarter of or a half of an inch from edge to edge. So we are going to echo this, and we are going to echo it. Okay, hesitation stitch, guys. Don't forget the hesitation stitch. And now I'm going to come all the way down, and I'm going to meet the next rotation. And I'm going to stitch right up to it. Okay. This one is different because you could see it's a whole lot longer over here. I don't have the rotation next to it, but isn't that pretty? So now what I'm going to do, and look at it, it's right at the cusp of a half an inch here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down, and then I'm going to come up right there. Put this back on. And where I'm lining this up, I just picked a landmark. And the landmark that I picked is the edge of this piece of staple tape right here. So what I want is I want to make sure that I've got my up and down straight, and I can put, let's see which one I'm looking for. Oh, how about that? It was the first one I picked up. So I can go ahead and put my gate back in. There we go. And that's going to assure me that I'm lined up straight down here as well as up here. Now you can see I'm a couple stitches short. No worries. Just going to go ahead and put a stitch or two in. There we go. Beautiful. And now we're going to come up again. Hesitation stitch to make sure that that point is nice and sharp. And back down to the next rotation. Now I want to talk about, okay, I didn't do a great job there, but what I want to talk about is when you're traveling. What I oops, wrong place. What I like to do when I'm traveling is I like to make sure that I stitch slowly and purposely. And I don't like to stop at each stitch. Reason being is every time we start, we take that chance of making a toe catcher. And it's a thing that I am really, really expert on. I mean, I could teach a class how to do it, but it wouldn't serve anyone well, trust me. Okay, so here we go. We're going to stop on this line of stitching. I'm going to just stitch backwards until I hit that prior rotation. And then I need to do about a half a stitch there. and I'm going to stitch up about 1/4 of an inch, and there it is. You'll see this really is not that difficult, is it? I'm gonna line myself up. This is where we find out if we need to do a stitch or not. I needed to do about 1/2 a stitch there. And here we go. We'll do this one more time. Hesitation stitch. Oh my goodness. I wish you guys could see Tippy. She's laying with her paw over her forehead, sound asleep. I love it when she does that. She looks cute. Okay, so here we go. And we're gonna go in this direction. And we're gonna make a spin. All right. Make sure I'm lined up in the front and in the back. And this will be the last one we're going to make. And then I have something really special that I want to do. And we're just going to come on down here. Okay. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? That to me is just, it's just pretty. Okay, Donna said she would like to see some of the Spin-E-Fex on 6 or 5 point next week. And you know what? I think that's a wonderful idea, Deanna. And I have done it before, and I will be happy to do it again. And let's do it now. Let's go ahead. I'll just grab my crosshair ruler and let's do a 5 point. It's been forever since I've done a 5 point. So I'm going to grab my ruler here. Okay, that's a 6. 1, 2, 3, and there's a 5. Oh, I love it when they're on top like that. I really do. Okay. Now, one of the things I want you to see, and I'm gonna switch over cameras here because I really want you guys to see it well, okay? And we're gonna go like this. There. Easy peasy, right? So, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna get my pencil out. What we don't have on here is we don't have a vertical and horizontal crosshair, which is what I personally love to start with on every project. I like to go ahead before I'm stitching out and I'm putting that on here. So I'm not going to be able to put a vertical and horizontal crosshair on here because it's only got 5 rotations. Okay. That's okay. We'll live with it. All right. And here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to make sure that I've got that center point marked well. And there it is. And so that is where we're going to put our foot and our needle down at. Now, a question. Do you want um okay, Deanna, do you want this on a pin or do you want just the regular rotations? I'm thinking just the regular rotations personally. Okay, I'm going to switch over to the other camera here. I'm going to focus. Okay, she says either. Let's go ahead and do just the regular rotation then. All right. Because this is more what we would normally do, I think. And there we go. Going to pull that up. Perfect. Needle go. Love it when it hits the center like that. All righty, here we go. This is a 7.5 inch. This is going to work out perfectly because I'm going to be able to show you the embellishment that I wanted to show you. There is another embellishment that I have up my sleeve, guys. And let's just do it on this one. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm only going to come down to that place with the little cliff right here. I'm going to stop right there with my needle down. Let's get rid of the threads. I think I just put my fabric too. I'm going to twist my template. You guys know that you're going to get a template twist out of me every time, right? I'm going to come up until I hit the other side and then come back down. And I'm going to stop when I hit the ledge. I'm going to do it a second time. Okay, there we go. I'm going to come up, hit it a second time, and then come back down. We're going to twist it one more time. And I moved to the template, and that's why it's giving me a little bit of a funny shape there. There we go. Now let's go ahead and go back to center. I'm going to take an extra stitch here. I'm going to stitch over to this side now. Okay, make sure I'm lined up. I'm going to go ahead and twist that template. Come back down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Oh, my fabric is flaking so badly. And it has nothing to do with the machine. It has everything to do with the height of my fabric is so low that it doesn't like it. That's understandable. And we're going to do, whoa, that was a toe catcher if I ever saw one. And we're going to come up and we're going to do this. And we're going to come back down. And now we're going to come back to center. Okay, I got off a little bit. That's okay. Okay, we're not done yet. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy off. And where's my little one? It's 5.5. I want my 3.5. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put the 3.5 on. Now we're gonna have to do this a little bit differently. Okay. What's going to happen if we start here? We're gonna come in and we don't want to do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stitch up a few stitches. And there we go. That's all it took was about 5 stitches. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just put one of the little guys in here. And come back the center. We're gonna go ahead and take him out. So that's one of the embellishments that I'm thinking of, okay? And again, here would be an awesome place to template this. But let's go ahead and let's go on. Is this the size I used? Yep. We're going to go ahead and we are going to make sure that we get all 5 of these rotations in. And we're not going to do all 5 fancy like that, okay? We're just going to show you what 5 is going to look like. I don't normally rotate my things as much as I'm doing right here, but I am doing that so you can see well. And we're going to come back to center. This one is the 5. Yep, that's 5. And we're going to come back. Don't forget to slow down a little bit when you come upon a cliff like that. There we go. And this is one of the 5 point. And Deanna, I will try to remember to put at least 1, 6, or 5 points in on each of the demonstrations that I do. It really will be helpful to show you different ways on how to use the templates and how different just changing the number of rotations can make the design look so different. And this will be our last one. Hesitate there. And back to center. And let's go ahead and clip some threads off and take a look at what we've got. Look at how sweet that is. Doing all the extra embellishments does take away from some of the things that we would see normally. Okay. I like this. I really do. And what you could do is you could come out about an inch out. Let me, oh, wrong one. What you could do, I think would look really pretty. Here we go. I'm squirreling again, guys. That's nothing new, is it? Okay, so I'm going to put that there and that there. I'm going to come to my line here, my foot down, my needle down. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stitch a frame around this. And I'm going to go until I hit that line, that reference line. And I'm going to stop right there. Okay, I've got to pull this reference line out. There we go. Go ahead and stop. Cut that off. Okay, so I'm aligning my 12-inch arc, my straight side, at the peak of the design. Stop on the line. We're going to do this all the way around. Okay, keep going. And I'm hurrying along here, guys. I'm not doing the best job that I would normally do. But that's okay. This is just practice. This is how we come up with ideas, literally, for me. Normally, I do it on a piece of paper with a pencil first. Okay, so you think I'm done? Guess what? I'm not. Whoops, wrong way. So, isn't that cool? I like that a lot. Okay. Okay, good. Now, what I'm going to do, well, the first thing I'm going to do is take another slug of caffeine, guys. Won't get enough of that in the morning. Okay, the little clamshells are not so difficult. I know everybody looks at clamshells and says, "Oh my gosh, I don't want to do that." Okay, what I've got here is I need to move my template that way just a little bit. So I'm going to put my needle down in my highest point. I'm going to move my template over. Now I should use my spacing gauge, but I did it, okay? And I'm going to keep on doing that all the way around here. There we go. Okay, that foot is just giving me grief this morning. to come loose. Mm. Anybody have a set of eyeballs out there that are working? I could lend them to me for Oh my goodness. There we go. Of course, I'm trying to get around cameras and camera tripods and setups and all that stuff here because I like having the two camera system for you all to see things. Okay, let's just call it a day right there. Okay, there we go. So you could keep going. You really could keep going on this. And I think it turned out so cute. I really like it. I'm going to move you up a little bit so you can see more of it. There we go. What do you guys think? That's a 5 point. Now add an arc above it. Oh, yeah, Donna, I can. I can. But I don't have them out right now. But that would be awesome. Okay, let's take a look at, there we go. Okay. Okay, Deanna brings up a good point. Sometimes less is best when doing quilting, and there are times that's very, very true, Deanna. I'm glad you pointed that out. This is pretty and all, but you're be pointless to put it on like a pretty floral fabric or a highly decorated fabric or printed fabric of any kind because it would get lost in there, right? It would just get lost in there. So sometimes it is better. Kathy said she likes this. She's going to use this afternoon. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, Carla, Oklahoma City is getting a new April rainfall record breaking 78 78 inches? Oh my God. Oh, 78 is in the year 78. Okay. I think I got it. Maria said she's finding that she uses the 5 point crosshair more than the 8 now. I think that's fantastic. Okay. Let's see what Di says. Kathy, for those that don't have it, do you think Society would include the deal of day on the crosshair design book while you're doing demos on the Spin-E-Fex templates? Di, I will be talking to Stacy this morning and I will ask her that, okay? I think that's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. Oh, an unexpected hex. You're right, Kim. Okay, Carla says she has all three crosshairs and going to start using them more. You know what? I think I need to start using mine more too, Carla. I really do. I really do. So what we've got here is I am going to come back and I am, hello. Oh, there it is. There that is. And I am going to give you guys the link one last time. And you are all so very welcome. 12 inches of rain and still raining in Oklahoma City. Oh my goodness. Do you get flooding with that too, Carla? I would imagine you have to. That's a lot of rain. Wow. Anyway, um, don't forget like, subscribe, and share. These videos will be available on Facebook for 30 days, then Facebook will delete them. However, you can go to 906 Quilting YouTube channel or the So Steady YouTube channel, and they will be there. You are so welcome, you guys. I think it's absolutely awesome, and I love it. You warm my heart by being here. It means a lot to me, and as long as you guys are having fun, we'll keep doing it, okay? We've got some ideas coming up for you for later this summer with the edge to edge designs, and we're just gonna continue having fun because that's what I like to do. Yeah, Lee, you have an awesome weekend too, okay? And I want again, just wanna thank you from the bottom of my heart being here. It really means a lot to me. So, until we meet again, and that should be Monday, let's quilt.